today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Riddle's Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddle's Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddle's Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddle's Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddle's Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more, all at Riddle's inside Gateway Mall.
Question for you. Would you rather pay $150 a month or $15 a month to work out with the same high-quality gym equipment? At Planet Fitness, you can get top-tier equipment for $15 a month. Plus, save $28 or more when you join now during our Strong Choice sale. Our weights weigh the same, you just don't pay the same. Enjoy free fitness training and 24-hour access at most clubs, all in the judgment-free zone. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. See club for details.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine and light winds. See an afternoon high around 71. Tonight, mostly clear skies and calm winds, low around 49. And tomorrow, we'll see lots of sunshine again, but it will be breezy with an afternoon high around 85. A meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Hirsch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning. Now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome into the Dumb Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, we got the former Husker wide receiver, special teams threat, good morning, Pierson-El, streaming in. As always, you guys can join in 402-464-5685. We are live on the brick and mortar. Royals pick up their win in their first playoff game. I think they win it 1-0 in a close one. But good morning, Pierson-El. I want to dive into a lot of NFL today. In particular, I want to start things off with Lions because they got back who's playing out of his mind right now. But how's it going on this Tuesday night?
You know, it's going okay. It's a bit of a tough Tuesday. Hopefully we don't get into the topic that's got me a little irritated or concerned, but we'll see.
Well, do you want to start with that topic?
No.
Maybe we can sneak it in there later.
No.
And, if text line really wants it, we can force it if you can guess what's on his mind. But that being said, I want to start off with this Monday Night Football game. We're going to talk about both of them. One's a little more sad than the other, but I want to talk about the NFL one with Jared Goff. Really just takes the Seahawks to work. 18 for 18, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. And then there was a monster highlight reel, probably one of the coolest runs I've ever seen from a running back in Gibbs, literally getting tackled. Not technically tackled, but getting wrapped up, thrown to the ground. Almost looks like a wrestling move. He gets up, finds a way to keep it going, to move the chains, get a first down. Give me your thoughts on what was just the offensive masterpiece from the Lions.
You know, the Lions are a problem. Like, they might be more physically like imposing than the 49ers, and that's saying something. You know, they're going to be something. Excuse me, they're going to be something to handle. Jared Goff, I'm happy for him because that trade and how people were talking about him and moving on and what he could not do, for him to kind of reinvent himself and take a franchise that was honestly irrelevant for most of, you know, recently stuff. They had a couple of good years with, you know, Stafford and company and whatnot. But for him to kind of catapult and be what he is to that organization right now, like I'm happy for him, and I'm happy to see those type of stories because you don't see that a lot. A lot of people get written off, or, you know, that could be the end all be all, and it doesn't, you know, happen like that. So for him to operate and do what he's doing, and for him to be appreciated and embraced by that city, that's amazing. That you don't see that at that level was what he's went through. He went to a Super Bowl, lost a Super Bowl, you know, being traded, you know, a high draft pick, whatever you want to say. You know, McVay didn't really say too much or give too much, you know, positive words really for him. You know, he cast him aside. So I mean, they've got something good going on there. That's a feisty, you know, gritty group. You got to watch out for them.
Yeah, and that's the part where, you know, it is a gritty group. Like, and they got the run game going. I think, you know, I don't know where I'd put Gibbs in the hierarchy of running backs, but I mean, he's an absolute animal, one of the best in the league right now. And then on the passing game, I mean, we just saw it. I mean, they got a quarterback who's playing out of their mind, and he's dialed in with those wide receivers. Like, he knows what everybody wants to do, and it just goes, you know, you give credit to Campbell too for. I think that is a culture that needed a passionate, fiery guy to finally get things on track, someone to force you to believe him, even when you're just kind of loafing it in practice, thinking you're on a horrible franchise. He's really got that thing turned around. Where would you put the Lions right now in the power rankings? Because I think this team is a legit Super Bowl threat at this point.
I mean,
you don't got to put in order, but I think top 5, anything under that, I think would be shocking.
Top 3.
Top 3, yeah. I go Chiefs. I'd probably go Bill. Shocks me a little bit. I might put Lions all the way up at 2 right now.
I'm like, and you know, the 49ers, you can say what they want to say, like them not being healthy and whatnot. Like, they're still not even at full capacity. Like, they're still not even, you know, all clicking, and they're still, you know, a dominant team. So it's like, do I want to give them the nod as of right now? Like, not like, oh, well, they're not, like, as of right now, I would probably put them at 2.
And if you're going off of like the success they had last year, I think it's fair. It's like this isn't totally unfounded. Like they had this bubbling for a while now, and you're kind of just waiting for it to boil over.
When you see them, honestly, it reminds me of those New Orleans teams that would always go to the NFC Championship and lose. Like when you think about how good those teams were, I think it was like 5 years or 4 years straight. The Saints were like, I think 3 years straight they were literally a play away from going to the Super Bowl. So I mean that and I know Campbell was, I think, around, the Saints around that time. Like that team reminds me of those New Orleans teams that were like so good the later end of Drew Brees' career before, he kind of started, before his shoulder, messed up and he couldn't really, throw it downfield anymore. This team kind of reminds me of like of that gritty, that mean type of New Orleans teams. But they have had a coming out party, I would say maybe 2 years ago. Like you really seems like, okay, like, they're going to be nice in maybe a year or two, whatever. It wasn't last season, the season before last season. And then last season happened. And it's like, yeah, the storm is here. Like whatever, how you want it, they got whatever tandem you want to say at the running back. They got the Lightning, they got the Thunder. Both guys can, do what they need to do. They got, all-star tight end. And you got a young receiver core who honestly probably is, one of the better situations coming up to where, like, yeah, you're going to have to pay, St. Brown just got paid. But, I mean, you're going to have to play Williams, so you're going to have to pay him. But, their 1-2 punch there, they complement each other perfectly well. And then their defense of what they're doing on that, they traded for some players this offseason. They're gonna be come postseason, like they're when you gotta grind things out, that's the type of team like you don't want to go against, honestly.
Yeah, you mentioned the payroll, like they're gonna be fine for a while to keep this thing brewing. Like, yeah, they're gonna have some moves and decisions to make, but I mean, you're gonna have that every season. But they're in a good spot, especially if they get everything they want this year. They'll be able to keep this thing going for a while, and it's not going to kill the bank for them. And they feel good about the head coach. It's just a NFL team that knows what it wants to do, and it has the right people in place, and it trusts those guys. And that seems like such an easy recipe, but we see it in all these bad franchises where there's so much distrust between the players. Kind of hint, wink at what we're going to be talking about later at some point. Might have to save for the next segment. But, like, if you don't got a sense of direction, it doesn't take long for everybody to get upset and kind of give up on the coach, management, on other guys on the team. And they've certainly feels like they've gotten over that hurdle. And I don't even think it means to say feels like they've gotten over that hurdle.
Yes.
Like they know who they are and what they want, what they're trying to do. And they got a quarterback that they trust. They got a coach that one of the best quote unquote players coaches you could have. I mean, you're seeing that with Texans too. Like there is some magic to that about getting guys that have that leadership ability because they've done it before. So the Lions, I don't think two is too high at all.
No,
I think that team is just going to keep getting better as the season goes on as well. Let's talk about the ugly of Monday Night Football. It was that Titans and Dolphins game, a little bit of excitement early on, but looks like the end of the road for Will Levis here. It's just maybe he gets some more opportunities, but I mean, Rudolph kind of took off of that. Titans get the first win of the year. Yes, it's against the Miami team who they got a ton of weapons, just not at the quarterback position right now. The defense is average. I think it's probably fair to say. I don't think they're terrible, but I don't think they're that great either. What do you make the Titans situation, and is this the right move to kind of shut down Will Levis, you think?
He hurt his shoulder, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Or was he pulled?
I hear the shoulder. I don't know how bad it is. I think maybe I'm reading too much into it. Let me get the official IR report.
I thought he did something, with his shoulder. He's a young player still. You got an offensive coach in there that is changing things. Like you got to give him some time to get stuff situated. I think there's flashes that in his game with what Coach Callahan is trying to do down there that will operate stuff efficiently and effectively. Now it's just playing a whole complete game. It's a different coaching staff. It's a different culture in there from when he was brought in there. It was a defensive staff. They were tough nosed. Not to say that they're not now, but just different philosophy. Now you kind of you have a good offensive mind coach in there that is like, peeling back, wrong or, not too much of good play. It's going to take some time. So, I mean, Rudolph has been in the league for, a minute. He was a second round pick himself with Pittsburgh. And he struggled at times, with Pittsburgh, but he's seen things. He understands stuff. So, I mean, it may be more simpler or similar to what he was in. And it's, again, once you get more comfortable with just understanding the game around you, you operate differently. Like you know what to look for, certain things and whatnot. And Will is still, learning those on the NFL level. Like the biggest jump from college to the pros is honestly the mentals outside of, the power and all of that. Like, yes, it is grown man, it's strong and everything like that, but it's the mental side of stuff. That takes a little bit, to come. But I mean, if you got the right support around you or the right people, to kind of speed that up, I mean, you could have a situation that the Texans had last year. You can have a situation that, the Commanders have this year. So, I mean, it's not, it's not that it doesn't happen. It's just, you got to have the right formula for it, the right ingredients for it to, kind of gel all together.
Yeah, and to quick clarify things. So it wasn't a tear; it's an AC joint sprain. They're going to get an MRI on it. It is that throwing arm. It is a throwing arm, so that is certainly a problem.
I've had two AC sprains in both shoulders. I was getting 4 shots a game. Even a grade 1, I was still getting 4 shots. So if it's anything from a grade 2 to a grade 3, he could be down for about 2 weeks to kind of like let that thing heal up. And that's one of those injuries to where like it can linger all season and it's annoying.
Yeah, you would know about it better than anybody else. You could certainly maybe give Levis a phone call, and I will say he hasn't gotten the MRI yet, but that's what they're thinking. The consensus is they don't think, but obviously at your quarterback, get the MRI scan. It might actually be worse than they think, but right now they just think it's a mild AC joint sprain. But again, like you said, that's a tough thing, not only mentally to get your trust back in your arm, but also if that's your throwing arm. I can't imagine what that's like for a quarterback. The head coach does go on to say that is their guy. It's just a matter of health, and if he's healthy and 100% there, he's going to be reinserted back into that starting lineup. How much do you believe that? Or do you think if Rudolph keeps winning games, that comment might get thrown out the door?
I mean, it can turn into the Steelers situation real quick.
I think that's where it might be heading.
It's
tough. It's only year 2 for him, but I mean, he tied leading league right now in interceptions with 6, only 4 touchdowns. Like, this might be a blessing in disguise for him to get.
You say that, and let's go back to Josh Allen's first 2 years in the league. They weren't great. I mean, they were good, but I mean, he was turning the ball over a lot.
Yeah, he was.
And I see that type of similarities like in his game with just like a gunslinger, taking chances and everything like that. So that's good, but I mean, it may be better for him to kind of sit down and understand, the mental side of things better and slow the game down to where, you don't make mistakes because they're moving the ball, they're scoring. It's just they're not playing complete football and mistakes that just, it's like, that's just a bad decision has led to, some game momentum swings that end up, causing you to lose games. I mean, when they played the Bears, I mean, the Bears were terrible, on offense. And that was just, a special teams defensive game that kind of, saved the day. So we've seen his type of style quarterbacks kind of get fixed. So, I mean, like I said, Josh Allen is one in itself. So, and I'm not saying that he's Josh Allen, but I'm saying he has those traits. If you go back and look at, Josh Allen's first 2 years in Buffalo, you'll turn on it and be like, oh, okay, like, the similarities are definitely there. But once Josh, Josh settled in and kind of understand things holistically, you got, 3 years in the system or 2 years in the system with you understanding what they're trying to do, the verbiage to where you're not thinking now. Now the game, it's not slowing down for you. It speeds up. So now you just going, with the flow instead of, not trying to mess up. And that might be what it is. I mean, his rookie year, one system. He gets to a second year, another system. So you're relearning everything. Like that's not easy to do.
Yeah. And speaking of Josh Allen, you're looking at his first 2 years. Yeah. In that 2018 year, 10 touchdowns, 12 picks. The second year, he gets 20 touchdowns, but again, almost equals it, half of it anyways, with interceptions, 9 picks. And he's just kind of an interesting enigma on himself because each year he gets more touchdowns, but he gets more interceptions on top of it. Last year was actually his high for interceptions, but he get 29 touchdowns with it as well. But 29 touchdowns, 18 picks, and that was last season. So Josh Allen, the interception bug's always
going to give you a pick.
Yeah. And like that's what always surprised me how the Bills have been so successful is like if you're going to nitpick Josh Allen, it's also part of the offense how they use him. I mean, they're really not embracing the running game until they switched to OCs. Like I think it was midway through last season.
Yeah.
And now it feels like they're properly using Cook and actually getting him a run game, putting Allen under center a few more times as well. I think it just helps out when not everything is in shotgun, making it that easy for the defense to read. So I don't, like you said, I don't think he's going to be Josh Allen at any point, but it is a possible scenario where if he's that kind of same style gunslinger quarterback, the numbers might sync up a little bit to what you're seeing. And the Bills, again, I know these interception numbers are kind of high for Josh Allen, but I do think that's a lot of just how they've operated their offense for so long. Like they put so much of the game on Josh Allen's shoulders that he's going to have to make some plays to get that offense moving, and he forces it.
And Tennessee honestly doesn't have an identity. Like you got two, icons. Two, when you think of Tennessee, you thought of these players as their franchise, Derrick Henry and AJ Brown. 2 years ago, that necessarily changed. So it's like you don't even know what really is the identity, of the Titans. They got, some receivers that we've known or seen them, compete at a high level. Not to say that they're not.
But it's like Hopkins is on the end of his career.
The
later part, anyways.
I mean, him and you got, Calvin. Calvin really hasn't captured what he was really like in Atlanta after his year suspension. Not to say that he's, terrible, because he has flashes, but I mean, it takes time, again, system, scheme with things and whatnot. And then you got a Tony Pollard who, ever since Zeke left Dallas, he ain't really looked the same.
And Spears is not, he's not necessarily proving a lot as to be like a 1-2 punch to kind of help out in that running back room as of now.
So is that really all on, Will? No, but people are making it out to seem like that because it's the easy target. It's a lot of other things when honestly, just break it down with the simple things. Like, look at the supporting cast there. You got, a second year player, which we have a sophomore slump, in the NFL. You see that, a lot. That's not anything that doesn't, not happen. You got that. And then on top of that, you got to relearn a whole new offense. Like, so it takes time to kind of establish and get things right. So, I'm not ready to turn the page on them or thinking, oh, this and this and that. No, you got a veteran guy that's been in the league for 6-7 years. Like he understands how to operate stuff. He's been in Pittsburgh system. Pittsburgh is, one of the more successful organizations in the league right now. So he got to learn under Ben Roethlisberger. Not everybody, gets to learn under a Hall of Famer and everything like that. And so that transition is easier because the game is slowed down for him. He's seen a lot in his time. So yeah, it could be smoother and it could take off because he's not making rookie mistakes.
Yeah. And as you said, you don't want to pull the plug too quick on the guys or throw their career away because your guy, Sam Darnold, Vikings are 4-0. They look awesome. And last thing I'll ask, and then we'll have to get into it on the other side of the segment, but Vikings, is this a Super Bowl contender at this point? It's kind of like Brock Purdy where you weren't that first year in particular where it's like, he hasn't shown me anything to mess up yet, but you're maybe kind of waiting for it. But Sam Darnold, so far, he's looked awesome. The offense, top to bottom, and they got a defense behind it that's, top 10 in the league.
A Super Bowl team? You still in it? You still in the NFC? You did what you did to an unhealthy 49ers. You still got to go through the Lions. You still got to go through Green Bay. Regardless, you still got to go through Philadelphia. So not to take anything away from them, are they a strong contender to make it to maybe the NFC Championship? I think so with what they have, as long as health, sustain, as long as, no glaring issues of people understanding things and just switching up completely. Super Bowl, I think that's a far reach. I'm not too close to say that. I would have to see, their run deep into the season to kind of be like, okay, like I can see that. But I mean, an excellent defense. You got an excellent play caller with O'Connell. He's going to get everybody in the right situation. And you got Donald, who's a first round talent. So I mean, they have the capabilities of doing certain things, but I'm not quite ready to say Super Bowl.
I think that's fair because even in just that division alone, I like the Lions more. Now we'll see what happens. Like, they're going to be able to face off and match up on what we'll really get to see, especially if both sides are healthy, who comes out on top. But yeah, I think I'm still going to go with the Lions on that one. But the Vikings, man, if they keep winning games, I'm going to keep pushing them up there on my thoughts because, again, haven't really shown me too much that they can't do it. It's just I trust other teams' track record more is kind of the only deciding factor. All right, we do got to talk about it. This is sports radio. This is breaking news. On the other side, we got to talk about one of the best wide receivers in the league. He's disgruntled. He wants out. You can probably take a wild guess as to which wide receiver that might be, especially if you're watching the stream. You can see the morning Pierson-El's reaction. We're going to talk about that. On the other side, some breaking news that happened just a few hours ago. Again, we'll talk about that wide receiver, that guy that wants out. So don't go anywhere. We're going to keep it rolling. Don't Punt Hour with the morning Pierson-El.
Every home is different. Every family is different. So when it comes to a new heating and cooling system, why not get what fits you best? Get the perfect fit with Bryant. Maybe you need higher efficiency, better humidity control, increased warranty, or all the bells and whistles. Bryant provides options in warranty, brand, comfort, and efficiency while maximizing savings. Call 467-1111 or visit BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best boxing on Saturday, October 5th with Roughnecks at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. 8 bouts are scheduled for the night, including the main event of Dwayne Johnson and Jack Lawless Frericks in the professional middleweight championship bout. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine and light winds. See an afternoon high around 71. Tonight, mostly clear skies and calm winds, with a low around 49. And tomorrow, we'll see lots of sunshine again, but it will be breezy, with an afternoon high around 85. Meteorologist Kyle Buck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Riddle's Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddle's Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddle's Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddle's Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddle's Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more. All at Riddle's inside Gateway Mall.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com. Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
I can't believe I just scratched that card. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT, from cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. We're going to talk about some breaking NFL news. Maybe not overly surprising news, but there was a star wide receiver, Davante Adams of the Raiders, request a trade out of that franchise. He's got some good spots that people are already kind of lining up where he may end up, but the morning Pierson-El, got to ask you as the former Raider himself, give me your thoughts. Davante Adams, he wants out. Can't say I'm surprised.
I hope we would have just got through the season, and that could have been something in the off season. I mean, I'm not mad at him.
Yeah, no, definitely. I
Like,
mean, it makes total sense.
honestly, like Tay is used to winning. I mean, look at the take Josh Jacobs had about coming to Bama. I mean, you going to Bama, then getting into the league and like losing. Like it's different when you know that's not the norm, and you gotta kind of face certain things or whatnot. And then, I mean, it's just been one thing necessarily after another, and I mean, he's able to perform, but again, I mean, he's getting all the attention, and I know it's probably a game or two this year, and I'm just like, come on, Tay, like you normally on that, but I mean, people have that. I mean, especially him at the level he is, like he's earned, like, all right, like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like time and time again, he showed up. It's just a frustrating situation, especially for that to be, my team, especially like. But I mean, he got to do, what's best for him. He still has a lot of, years left and what he wants to do and what he wants to accomplish with things or whatnot. I don't know if I don't think like AP was when he said people made business decisions. I don't think Tay was one of those people that he was talking about. It just kind of the situation, is what it is. I mean, y'all not using them. The deep threat that y'all do take shots and everything like that with is going to Tucker. Like y'all kind of just using them as a decoy, and it's like, you know what I mean? It like he didn't necessarily come there for that. Like y'all had a very good team, or it was some nice pieces that was there before he got there or his first year there, and the team got dismantled. So. I mean, I can't blame him for wanting what he want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he's used to necessarily something else, and maybe at that point in time in his career, he ain't really trying to rebuild stuff.
Yeah, and you look at the amount of targets he's gotten. Yeah, there's times where maybe he's not getting as open as he should, but it's still. I mean, he looks like third string.
He's not getting targets. Like he's not effectively in, I'm not saying you got to go to him on some Stephon Diggs,
I think they're using him as a decoy. I think you're right in that. Like
yeah,
more often
I mean,
than
like you telling me he can't get, 12 targets? Like he's not even getting that. Like, I remember last year, I think like the first couple of games, like he had like 4 targets. He had like
between 5 to 7 on average, which is insane when he's on your roster.
You know what I mean? And it's like you can say what you want to say with with Aaron and this and this and that. Well, when DC was there last year or the year before, he was still doing what he wanted to do. When Aiden O'Connell stepped in there, like, you got to give him a shot. And I'm not saying that that's not what they're not doing, but the involvement of stuff just looks like, it's not going there. But then again, you look at the identity of the Raiders, it's like you don't really know. Like they're still trying to figure out, their identity on the offensive side of things. That we know what they are on defense, but you got to play, complementary football, and the offense ain't really been too complimented. So, I mean, what do you expect? He hasn't said anything. He hasn't talked negative. He's, expressed frustration, but as I wouldn't say turned it into a positive, but he ain't, pointing no fingers. He's, well, I got to do better. And, so, I mean, what you expect? I mean, you can only do so much for so long.
Yeah, and he's certainly never been the guy to start problems in the locker room. So like I don't I don't blame any of that stuff on him. I don't think there's any dislike. I just think for whatever reason they have really failed to utilize his talents on that team. Part of it too is the run game is just a step down. Is that just the offensive line? Is that the running backs? What's going on with the run game over there? Because just speaking of that, I mean, to me that's what's been really it's been jarring, because it shows you that like it wasn't Josh Jacobs was not the problem last year.
No, the I think the type of run scheme that running back is like I said, he's shades of a Nick Chubb. He's not your Josh Jacobs. He's not your Aaron Jones. He's not your ETN. He's not your Kareem Hunt. He's not that type of style of of a runner. Josh helped the offense, look way better than it was because he was just like that and getting things done.
Well, he could do everything. He could catch. He pass pro was fine too, despite the size. He could run. Like he could run inside the tackles, outside, everything.
You have to get White going. And I don't think they have done a good job of establishing and getting him necessarily his touches. And he's a type of player over time, late in the game, he'll start to break those long runs and everything like that. But you gotta get him, stretches, counters, or certain schemes and everything. You can't just run ISO. You can't just run duo. You know what I'm saying? Like, people gonna close down on that, and they're gonna take that away. Like, you gotta get him started, and I think he's a lot better once he gets past the line of scrimmage. He's not an in the backfield type of quick through the hole. Like, he's not that type of running back. He kind of slow plays it, and he's a bowling ball. As you go further down the field, he's picking up. He's a steamroller. That's just what he is. So they're not, I think, utilizing or getting him started how they should be, and it's hurting the offense.
Yeah, well, especially if everything you say is true about his kind of style of running, the carries don't add up. He's not gonna have an effective game with 8 carries if that's his style.
Go back and look at the type of run schemes that they were running at Georgia with Chubb and him, stretch, off zone, counter, pulling around and getting him to move people off their island, and then him going to work and doing things. And then, when you got that, then you can run your ISOs, then you can run, your duos, then you can run your jabs right, up the middle, and you'll see those creases. But anywhere in the NFL, you're not getting those type of runs right up the middle. Derrick Henry ain't even getting that. Saquon ain't even getting that. That's not what stuff is gonna be. But their lack of identity, their lack of what they can do consistently, bugs and catches them at the wrong time, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, and he's got, I believe it's November 5th is that trade deadline. So he's got about a month to figure out any teams out there.
I think it'll be closer to that. I just don't know if he has a trade clause to where he has to agree, kind of what Brandon Ayuk had, to where if somebody does want to trade, he could say, no, I don't want to do that. I don't know if he has that in his contract. I'm not familiar. But now it's all about, money. And I say it's going to be closer to the trade deadline, because if he gets traded, let's just say tomorrow, teams are going to have to pay. I think his contract is 16 something. He gets an average of $16 million or something a year, something like that. I think teams are going to have to pay around $13, $14 million for the rest, of the year, versus if you get closer to November 5th, okay, now, it's $10 million. It might be 11 million. So I don't think that will be worked out quick. I think that is something that we might see closer to the deadline. I mean, we've seen Amari Cooper traded. We've seen Deontay Johnson traded and whatnot. So I think they can get 3 picks for him. A second, third, and a fifth, or a third, fifth, and a sixth, or something like that. Because he's a top 5 receiver in the right situation. Period. And honestly, he's a top 3 receiver. To me, he's the number 1 receiver in the NFL. I don't care. I'm taking him over Justin Jefferson, Chase, AJ Brown. I'm taking Tate, and it ain't close.
I think you put him on a good roster. People talk about him differently. It's just he's being underutilized. That's my kind of thought process too. And if you're the Raiders, it makes sense. If we're not going to use this guy, get out of the contract. Because you're right, Ray. Right now, he is making a salary $16.9 million a year. 2025, though, that contract's going to balloon up to $35.6 million.
But so how teams can kind of counteract that is giving him a huge signing bonus either in the season or something like that. That way, it's okay, you knocking that off. You know what I mean? So, like I said, with the money that's being paid necessarily right now, I think closer to November, if they do decide to trade and move on, it will be closer to the deadline, because that's less money teams have to kind of pay out.
Yeah, and the consensus that they're thinking, if teams, as they go with this trade, that they're going to take him as a rental for the rest of the year and then take it on as dead money, or just in some way, like you said, rework the contract and renegotiate in a way to kind of rework it, restructure it a little bit. So maybe you take some of that off right away. But there's a few options there to where if that number is too scary, few ways to kind of at least revisit it and to make it a better deal for both teams there. And most people got about like a second pick trade in there for sure. I think it's fair. You got any good homes? I mean, they got a list of teams here. They got Saints, Cowboys, 49ers, Jets.
I can tell you, I know where he ain't going. He's not going to the Chiefs.
No, he's not. I don't think he will be.
I don't. They can say the Chiefs. I understand with them, but that's an individual, rival. That ain't happening.
He's actually not listed at all. This is a Bleacher Report article. Chiefs are not listed.
The Chiefs, the Chargers. Can it happen? I mean, yeah, there's a 1%. Do I think it's going to happen? No. First off of just, first glance, I see three teams that come to mind. Number one, Baltimore. But the thing there is like Baltimore is going to have to pay some of these defensive people coming up. So I don't really know. I mean, you're going to have, a 2-year lease on that. But I mean, you got Lamar, you got Derrick Henry. What are teams going to do? Devontae is going to see one man-to-man coverage. And,
Zay Flowers is still plenty enough of a threat to put teams on edge.
Not even just Zay. I mean, Derrick Henry, period. Him and Lamar. Do you want to stack the box for that, or do you want to play coverage and kind of take away that? Okay, if you take away coverage, D. Henry going to do what he do. Okay, if you man coverage or whatnot, you might have a double team or whatever. They can scheme stuff up, move him in the slot, do things and such. So I think Baltimore is a live candidate. Of course, Buffalo. I mean, you put him in Buffalo. I'm not too sure about the run game and everything like that, but that gives a better blanket for Josh Allen. I mean, of course you could say the Jets, but I mean, I think the Raiders would be too petty and be like, no, we're not doing that. Type of
Adams, I don't know if I want to go to the Jets. They kind of got some of their own problems right now where it hasn't taken off the way they wanted.
You can go to the Saints.
That's the one I was actually thinking about, the Saints. That's the one I think I might like. Reunite with your guy.
It's a team down there. It's not only just his guy. His receiver coach, which was my receiver coach in college, is the receiver coach of the Saints. So not only are you, and I mean, I've known Tay since I've been in college. I've been to workouts that he's came out to Nebraska and worked out and whatnot. He gets coached by Keith Williams every year. Every game, clips, this and that. So not only is it enticing that, Derek Carr, who's looked better than he was when he was in Vegas when you came, he looks better with this offense. They got a defense. They got some, young stars around there. And you also got your college coach that's there and your college quarterback that's there. Like, I think that's, enticing enough for maybe, to make that happen. And you add him to that roster, they should probably win their conference. You at least, 1 through 4 in the playoff seat, and you plan to do something. So I think that's definitely, a vital place to go.
I think that one's probably the top of my list for all the reasons you said. I wasn't even aware the coaching connections went that deep, but we've seen that in the NFL. Like, that stuff does matter.
Yes.
Especially if they're going to let Adams have a say, which I think they will. I think they're going to make sure that he's comfortable with where they're sending him. Because they're not going to do him that dirty. I'd be very surprised if they did. But you go to a team like that, and it's certainly the way it looks right now. If you're Adams, then the big part of this is you want to play competitive football that matters at the end of the season. The Saints would certainly be a team to circle because they're playing some great football right now. And again, the tune-up to get back with that, you're going to be familiar with a lot of the guys around it, not only from players to the coaching staff. It'd be one where you'd be able to, I think, plug and play in a lot easier than some of these other teams that they're saying. You're seeing the 49ers get tossed out there, even the Cowboys, but the Saints might be the team to look out for.
I can see him staying in Vegas, honestly, only if one thing happens. If Edgar Bennett, which is the receiver coach, Edgar Bennett played for the Packers. He was with the Packers for a minute. He was an offensive coordinator for the Packers for a time when Tay first got drafted to Green Bay. Edgar Bennett was his receiver coach. If Edgar Bennett takes over duties as offensive coordinator, he is a exceptionally coach. Love him to death. I can text him right now. He's my guy. If he takes over in for offensive play calling or joint duties or something like that. I think you could see Tay stay because he's a former NFL running back. He understands the run game, but he also understands you got to get your guy touches. So I think that would be the only way that he would stay in Vegas.
We'll see what the Raiders do. They're on the clock November 5th. They're putting it out there, making some phone calls to teams. We'll see if Adams remains a Raider or if he ends up wearing a different uniform by the end of the season. But that being said, we'll throw it to our final break here. We'll have a real short one on the last side since we went long here. We'll just talk about that Rutgers spread. Right now, the Huskers are favored. They're pretty much going to be favored all the way up until that Ohio State game, so don't go anywhere. We'll cover that to wrap things up right here on the Don't Punt Hour.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Riddle's Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddle's Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddle's Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddle's Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddle's Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more. All at Riddle's inside Gateway Mall.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The electrical workers of local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Hi, this is Jay Foreman. Join me, Old School, live from Cornhusker Bank at 83rd and O Street this Friday for their Customer Appreciation Tailgate Party from 4 to 6 p.m. Larry the Cable Guy will join us during the show, and there's free food and refreshments. That is this Friday from 4 to 6 at Cornhusker Bank, 83rd and O Street. This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Wrapping things up here, final segment, Don't Punt Hour. We got the former Husker, DeMornay Pierson-El. Went long on the last one, so like I said, maybe got a couple minutes here at most. And then we'll set up a replay for you guys, and then we'll be back live at 9 o'clock, striking up a conversation with Kayla Verstrady and Callan of Husker Bowling. So we still got plenty left here on Ticket Weeknight, at least a couple more hours of it live radio anyways. If you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. But DeMornay Pierson-El, I mentioned it. Nebraska, once again, favored. They're going to be favored unless something drastic happens, injury or just a really bad loss, I think, all the way up until Ohio State. Right now, it's 7. I think that's fair. Nebraska's at home. Rutgers is undefeated. Nothing they're really potent at, but they're good at everything. They just kind of remind me of another Illinois matchup with a little bit better of a run game, which is weird to say because if you actually go back and look at Illinois, they found a lot of their success through the air, and then late in the game when they kind of just had Nebraska in sorts, they made some big plays on the run, especially on the outside. But heading into this Rutgers game, does 7 feel right? And, you know, what are you kind of expecting out of this Rutgers team? Is the time to believe that this is going to be a really tough opponent heading into, and that Greg Schiano has the Scarlet Knights finally rolling?
I could see 7, maybe 10, somewhere in there. 7 or 10 is where I'm at. Rutgers is physical. That's what they're going to do. Their identity, they want to run the ball. They want to overpower you. They want to get things going. The thing about that is we've kind of can stop that. We've been seen to be able to do certain things. So I think with their run game, if it's not established and everything like that, I don't know necessarily how they'll respond. So I think they are a good team. I know the teams that they've played and everything like that. I'm not gonna say it's a cakewalk, but I mean they're 4-0 for a reason. This will be a big challenge for them. This will be probably one of their first games kind of walking into it. This will be maybe like our third. Colorado, the Illinois. You know what I mean. So I think our guys will be better prepared for this type of game that's coming. And kind of we've seen this before, you know what I mean? Versus, what Rutgers has kind of seen, and, they could be smelling themselves a little bit, or, not, I won't say take things for granted, but, they can get punched in the mouth early. So that's But again, they're an undefeated team. You have to respect that. So I think this is going to be a good physical Big Ten type of style game.
Yeah, and I think why the spread is what it is right now is I do think what Vegas is thinking and the media is that if Nebraska's able to stop the run, which they've proven, I mean, they gave up, I think it was 52, 54 yards to Purdue on the ground. They did a good job. They bounced back from Illinois, being able to shut that down. If you can force their quarterback, Kelly McManus, to have a game where he's got to be the guy to drag them out and get that offense going, then you really do see that 7-10, and you feel pretty good about those being fair odds. And we'll definitely talk about that more as we get to Thursday. Wednesday, we'll kind of go all around the sports world, but Thursday, we'll do a full preview. Nebraska versus Rutgers, another home game for Nebraska facing another undefeated team, which, fun note, this will be another undefeated team Nebraska's faced. They faced undefeated, obviously, versus UTEP, undefeated Colorado, undefeated Illinois, and then Purdue. Well, never mind. Purdue is not undefeated, so there goes that whole thing. But they will get another undefeated team and Rutgers nonetheless. That is Saturday at 3 o'clock in the morning. Pierson-El, appreciate the time as always. We'll do it again tomorrow.
See you.